Hello to all you special educators, service providers, case managers across the state of Idaho. I'm Kendrick Lester, statewide secondary special education coordinator here in Idaho with the State Department of Education, sharing with you in one single take, so hopefully I get some decent quality because I have some important information to share with you. We want to keep you in the loop with making sure we have a clear understanding of the special education process and the ways we're providing services and instruction to our students across Idaho during the coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak. I know a lot of you are connected to great information, great resources that maybe comes from across the country, but it's very important that we are aware of the process and the plans for the way we deliver these services here in Idaho. Please, as I share with you these resources today, please make sure that these are all considered as part of your district and charter school team, your IEP teams, and especially if you have any questions or need for further discussion, coordination and communication with your special education director. With that said, though, this is information that we want to make sure that you all have access to and awareness of as this situation continues to grow and expand and as information continues to be developed. The first resource I want to share with you comes from the State Department website, sde.idaho.gov. On the cover, on the very front of this page, is our coronavirus information link. This link will take us to the governor's website, in which it addresses all things COVID-19 coronavirus, but specifically this page that has resources for schools. On this page, I do want to bring us down to, there's a variety of resources, but I want to highlight for us our special education tab and expand that. Here is where the special education director, Dr. Charlie Silva, is working to post all information that comes from the Office of Special Education Programs out of the United States Department of Education relative to any changes under IDEA, ADA, FERPA, or those other laws that we follow at the federal level that direct and guide our special education process. When I talk about changes, those are minimal. We're just looking at different means of creativity and flexibility in which we continue to do business under those same guidelines and policies that we have always followed in delivering special education. But any information up to date that comes in regards to the COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak from the Office of Special Education Programs will be posted here, but the primary resource I want to share with you is a growing body that's created here in Idaho by the department, Guidelines for Providing Special Education Services During the COVID-19 Pandemic. This document gets updated or has been updated a couple times a week, and this comes from the questions we're receiving from districts and charter schools across the state in regards to delivering services, remote learning, and really just the special education process. Need to knows there. What do I do if my 60-day timeline is coming due? What do I do about my annual IEPs? All of those question and answers are being built into this document. As more questions come in, we're adding and updating it almost daily, at least a few times a week. So a key resource that we want all of our districts and charters to be aware of. Please, again, make sure that as you go through this guidance and go through these questions and answers, that if there's any need for follow-up among your team, that you're working with your leadership, working with your district or charter special education director. But this is a very valuable resource that has a lot of questions and answers relative to the special education process as this situation continues to unfold and as we respond to it here in Idaho. Next resource I want to share with you is with the Idaho Training Clearinghouse, idahotc.com. On the Idaho Training Clearinghouse, our coordinators with SESTA are working very diligently and hard to come up with resources. Again, I'm going to go to the SESTA tab and go to the Idaho SESTA COVID-19 Resources and Tools tab. When I select that, on this SESTA page, I want to direct your attention to the resources panel in the middle. Sorry, I'm moving the screen around there too much. But a couple of great things that SESTA has put together for us are some guidance flowcharts on providing alternate instruction, asking you just those yes/no questions on is the district providing alternate means of instruction and services. I'm going to go ahead and download this one so you can see an example of it. Is the district providing alternate instruction? Yes, no. Those key considerations, those key pieces of information we want to make sure that we're discussing and planning as the potential rollout for whether you're sending home packets or planning for some sort of virtual curriculum or alternative, just to make sure that teams are making good, solid considerations and answering all the key and pertinent questions there. So a couple flow charts are available. Let's open up this one as well real quick, just so that we can see examples of these. They are in PDF format. This one we can see what type of instruction is being provided. I can go the pathway of virtual, curriculum-based activities, instructional phone calls, etc. So great information, and I do want to draw your attention, there are built-in links here for additional instructional resources that can be followed through the PDF. But without these links, I want to show you real quickly, because these are very valuable resources that SESTA's put together, how to access them directly. Again, back here on the Idaho TC SESTA page, these Padlets, I'm going to open up this Padlet with instructional resources. These Padlets just offer a wealth of information, including links back to the federal OSEP guidance, which we talked about on the governor's webpage, guidance from Idaho, including those guidelines for providing special education services. But as I scroll across the page on this Padlet, I can see different topics under the headings that can kind of help connect me to resources and links, as there's so many of them coming out and being added every day. When it comes specifically to those of you teaching or considering teaching either through some sort of alternative means, there's a monster Padlet, a really big Padlet they've put together on instructional resources following this link here, titled Huge Padlet of Teacher Resources. As I open this red highlighted link, it takes me to another Padlet with other headings, specific certainly to some areas or some activities that I'm doing in providing that alternate instruction. Tools to make online videos for online learning, virtual field trips and tours. If my screen will wake up, there it goes. I'm going to scroll over just so I can show we've got different subject areas, resources there, but very important by age level. Early childhood pre-K resources being updated as we get that information from technical assistance centers across the country. As we find resources that are valuable and available across the grades, middle school, high school, we're able to connect and set those things through SESTA up here on this Padlet. Lots of great information we want to make sure that you have access to. So in the effort to keep this video short and to make sure you have these information and these resources, remember those two main sources for information that we have. Going to the State Department of Ed website, sde.idaho.gov. You've got the coronavirus information. At idahotc.com, the training clearinghouse, SESTA button down to Idaho SESTA COVID-19 Resources and Tools, finding that information here on the middle panel of the page. Again, please take advantage of these resources. Please know that they're being updated regularly. Please know that your SESTA coordinators, as well as those of us at the State Department of Education, are continuing to work and are available to answer questions for you after you've gone through these resources, after you've gone through the Q&A resource documents. If there are lingering questions or confusions, please reach out. Please make sure as you use these resources, you do so in a coordinated effort among your IEP teams, working with your district charter leadership, your special education director. Thank you. Stay safe. Stay healthy.